Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, we are going to be taking a casual look at some Ninjago installments I personally feel deserve more love and more attention. Of course, throughout these several years of Ninjago being a thing and being a part of our lives, we have had some ups and some downs. Some are a little bit more noticeable, while others are a little more, dare I say, discreet. But regardless, at the end of the day, we all have those Ninjago installments that we love and cherish, and those that we feel are not so good. And in several cases, we may find that our opinions differ heavily from other Ninjago community members, which is very commonplace in the Ninjago community. In today's video, I wanted to take this opportunity to discuss some Ninjago installments that I personally feel are underrated and deserving of more attention. Some of these I've seen get a lot of hate out of the Ninjago community as of recent, and I feel like these definitely deserve a rewatch, or maybe in several cases a second chance. I'm not saying that you cannot dislike these Ninjago installments, don't get me wrong there. I'm just saying I find these to be extremely underrated, especially because in the eyes of several community members, these certain installments of Ninjago are not all that good. And like I said, I personally find enjoyment in them, and I'm going to be explaining why in today's video. First up, I want to talk about Ninjago Rebooted, Season 3. This is probably the most popular on this list out of all of my underrated Ninjago seasons, because I feel like there are indeed a lot of fans of Season 3. But at the same time, I have seen a lot of criticism and a lot of just pure hatred for Season 3, and I personally do not share those opinions. I think Season 3 is actually quite good. It was my favorite season for a while, until Season 4 came out, that is. But Season 3 actually has a lot going for it in my personal opinion. For one, this is immediately taking place following the final battle, and in turn we get to see how the ninja are reacting to that fallout as well. Despite not being ninja for the first couple of moments of this season, I feel like all of the ninja are characterized extremely well, especially in the case of Zane. This is definitely Zane's season, and I feel like he is a standout character, ultimately leading to his sacrifice during the end of the season. I feel like the season gets a lot of hate because of its very short runtime, and it is true. The season itself only has 8 episodes and was aired in an extremely weird way in most countries, especially here in the States, where we infamously got only 2 episodes every 3 months. Not a great way to present your Ninjago season, I must say, but I feel like the season itself, despite its short runtime, is very well done. Some episodes are better than others, and admittedly there are some episodes of this season that do not hit as hard as some other ones, but still I find this season to be very enjoyable, and I feel like this has some of the most solid first couple of episodes out of any Ninjago season. Sure, the season kind of goes downhill towards the middle, but it soon bounces back up towards the end, at least according to my own opinion. Next, we have March of the Oni. This is another very infamous Ninjago season because of its short runtime. I feel like a short runtime is definitely part of the criticism here. With March of the Oni's story often feeling rushed or discombobulated, I can totally understand those criticisms. However, I feel like March of the Oni is actually one of the underrated gems of Ninjago, and it's not even my least favorite of the entire Oni trilogy. I find if you watch the 4 episodes as a movie, it works a little better. It's sort of like the movie to end the first era of Ninjago, before we move into Season 11 and everything kind of changes. March of the Oni had some excellent character writing, especially with Garmadon and Lloyd. Those two are probably the standout characters. I will admit that the villains are not all that great. The Oni are kind of disappointing and kind of underwhelming, especially following what we had heard about them from Seasons 8 and 9. Still though, March of the Oni I find to be very enjoyable. Some editing choices are kind of iffy to say the least, I will admit that. I'm not saying that the season does not have problems, it totally does. I'm just saying I can overlook those problems and actually find something to appreciate here, which I don't feel like is the case for a lot of Ninjago community members, which again is totally okay. In my opinion, March of the Oni is a very, very good Ninjago story. Not great, not perfect, but definitely not terrible. I think its short runtime actually works if you watch it as a movie, because there's only 4 episodes, and I feel like each of those 4 episodes has a lot packed into it. We get to see several iconic things, such as older vehicles returning, as well as the golden weapons coming back, so in a lot of ways this is kind of a celebratory Ninjago movie, like I said earlier. It kind of rounds out the first big era of Ninjago. Next up, we actually have The Island. I'm going to be putting The Island on this list. Now, this one I am admittedly kind of mixed on. I feel like The Island had a good concept and a good story deep down, but the ending isn't really all that great. I don't really remember a whole lot from the ending, and I've seen The Island quite a few times, at least 3 or 4 at this point. And even though I find the ending to be kind of underwhelming, the initial setup for this season is very, very good. The ninja look fantastic, the island suits are some of the best ninja suits in years, and I feel like the setting of an uncharted island is a fantastic place to host a Ninjago story. Granted, this storyline is extremely short, only 4 episodes, but each one is only 11 minutes long, meaning that the entirety of the season, if you want to call it that, is only 44 minutes, which has honestly not worked out before for contained Ninjago stories. But the island, I feel like, actually has a lot going on. I feel like the bad guys are pretty cool too. You know, Chief Mamatis and his tribe of keepers, even though they are not the main villains of sorts, they are still a very good antagonistic force, and also Lloyd being the center character is definitely a good choice to be made. Overall, I feel like the island is definitely not rushed, as a lot of people say. I feel like it's just a small, contained storyline that has little connection to the overall Ninjago timeline. If you watch it just as its own thing, I think you will get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Like I said, I am very much mixed on the whole concept of the island. I feel as though the ending is lackluster, but a lot of other things about the story are actually really good in my opinion, and I definitely think it deserves at least some type of rewatch. And lastly, we are going to be talking about a Ninjago installment that is not really part of the Ninjago TV show canon, but the Ninjago movie is still very enjoyable to me. I've talked about this movie at several points on this channel. I remember when it came out all the way back in 2017, which doesn't really seem like that long ago, but the Ninjago movie is almost 4 years old. That's crazy to me. It's crazy to think that I was there all the way back when this movie came out, and when it came out, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny, really well written, and I felt like Lloyd and Garmadon's characters especially were really well done. In a lot of ways, I feel like this movie is the reason why I enjoy March of the Oni so much, because March of the Oni is sort of like the TV show equivalent of this movie. It focuses on Lloyd and his father and the trouble that they are dealing with, and it features some great writing and some great comedy to back it up. I find the comedy of this movie to be its strongest point. The animation is pretty good too, but the comedy is just so funny. It's my type of sarcastic, dry humor, and I think that this movie definitely works. The voice cast is all incredible, they work really well together, and like I said, the animation is extremely smooth. I also appreciated the little bits of live action sprinkled throughout the movie. Overall, the movie to me was a very enjoyable time. The biggest criticisms that I've seen towards the movie, though, are that it's not connected to the TV show, therefore it's bad, which obviously I don't agree with that opinion at all. I think the movie itself, if you watch it as its own thing, it's very enjoyable. If you separate it from the TV show, it's actually a really good time. And it kind of baffles me that there are indeed some Ninjago fans out there that have not seen this movie. Ninjago being a movie is a really big deal. Ninjago made it to the big screen. That's not really something that you can say about several other LEGO original IPs, so I find this movie to be quite the achievement and quite a good movie to say the least. Even though critics didn't really like it and the audience score is very much a 50-50 split, I personally enjoyed the movie quite a bit, and I love rewatching it every now and then because it just makes me feel happy and safe. It is one of my comfort movies, if you will. I really enjoyed this movie, and I feel as though it does not get the attention and the credit that it so deserves. So there you have it. Those are 4 Ninjago installments that I feel like are heavily underrated, and I feel like you guys should totally rewatch these because I feel like these 4 installments deserve a second chance. Obviously, this video was purely just my own opinion, but now I turn it over to you guys down below in the comments section. Leave a comment down below talking about which Ninjago installments you find to be very underrated, and do you agree with my list at all? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments. I look forward to reading what you guys come up with. With all that being said, you guys, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. As always, big shout out goes out to my Patreon supporters, including once again the marvelous Jan. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.